Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Walter Brown Arena on the campus of Boston University in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you today's Bay State Conference Division I Varsity High School Boys Hockey Contest between the visiting Newton North High Tigers and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. Another reason today is special, aside from another Brookline-Newton North matchup to add to that storied rivalry between these two local foes. Today is also Senior Day for Brookline, so they will be honoring their senior class of 2023. So among the players in that senior class, it includes number 3, alternate captain Marcus Pace, captain number 5, Steve McDougall, number 16, Jason O'Brien, captain number 17, Emmett Tien, number 22, Matthew Murphy, and number 27, James Redding. And I believe they're just getting ready to get these Senior Day ceremonies underway. You can see the seniors sitting along their home team bench right here. You see number 3, Marcus Pace, number 5, Steve McDougall, number 16, Jason O'Brien, number 17, Emmett Tien, number 22, Matthew Murphy, and number 27, James Redding. So, okay. Sorry, the mic was acting a little weird. Just want to make sure it's working okay. Soon we will have the Senior Day ceremonies, so if you're watching and you want to give a shout out to your favorite senior, feel free to do so in the live chat. Don't know the exact timetable of when we're going to start the Senior Day ceremonies, but I imagine it will be happening soon. Once again, thank you all for tuning in today. Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan coming to you live from Walter Brown Arena on the campus of Boston University in Boston, Massachusetts, for today's Division I High School Varsity Boys Hockey Contest between Brookline and Newton North, as we await the start of the Senior Day ceremonies for Brookline, as they will be celebrating the class of 2023, featuring number 3, Marcus Pace, number 5, Steve McDougall, number 16, Jason O'Brien, number 17, Emmett Tien, number 22, Matthew Murphy, and number 27, James Redding. it looks like they're bringing the players out one at a time to take photos with their families. A bit hard to see from this angle. The balloon's kind of in the way, but I'm sure the photographer's getting a good shot, and that's really all that matters. As it looks like they've already done Marcus Pace and just did Steve McDougall, so now coming up is Jason O'Brien. Talking a little bit about these seniors, you know, I've been covering this Brookline team for a few years now. The first time I covered this team, back when I was doing audio-only broadcasts, back when I was first starting out in the 2019 to 2020 season, these guys were all freshmen. And then I wasn't able to cover them at all during the COVID year in 2020 to 2021. Covered a bunch of games for them last year, and then a number of them this year as well. So these are guys I've really seen, you know, for the most part from start to finish. So it's a really special group. Talking about some of these guys, you know, just going in order of jersey number, Marcus Pace, you know, he was, you know, a guy that has really worked his way up the lineup. He became a first-line winger this year, an alternate captain, and he's found a lot of great ways to contribute. He had a big spot to fill on that first line after the graduation of Caleb Weldon, and, you know, bringing that lefty shot on the left wing, he's been a pretty big contributor for the team this year. I think this might be his best season yet. Steve McDougall, I mean, we've seen this is a guy who was already a captain last year. He's already proven himself time and time again. You know, he's a fantastic distributor from the center, really great at finding his teammates, helping to get them involved on a prolific first line for Brookline, and also just one of the scrappiest guys out there. You know, not the biggest guy, but you know, he's kind of like got that Brad Marchand mentality. I may be the shortest guy out here, but I'm going to make my presence known. That kind of guy. The number of times I've seen him go down, have to skate off, and then come right back out again a few minutes later, it's just an insane number. And, you know, he just continues to tough it out game after game. Jason O'Brien, a guy who hasn't gotten as much playing time, but he has been around this team a long time. His family's been around this team a long time. I believe, I think it was his older brother, Jack O'Brien, who was a senior back when I first started covering this team, and now he's here as a senior, and his younger brother, Thomas O'Brien, as a sophomore. That O'Brien family just, you know, they just bleed the red, white, and blue of Brookline hockey. And so, you know, he is a presence that's going to be missed. You know, even if he isn't getting first-line minutes, he is a guy who's going to be missed on this team. Emmett Tien, you know, like McDougall, a first-line guy even last year, a captain last year. And really, what more can I say? I mean, his play really just kind of speaks for itself. You know, I talked about McDougall with a, you know, slight comparison to Marchand. If McDougall is Marchand, then Tien is Bergeron, just with the, you know, center and wing positions flipped. Emmett Tien, easily the biggest offensive weapon for Brookline each of these past two seasons. Sees the ice incredibly well. He's got a laser of a wrist shot. Just really has a nose for the puck and has fantastic ice awareness. Really not enough I could say about this young man. Matthew Murphy, you know, a guy who hasn't had much playing time historically on this team, but he's worked his way up his senior year into being a third-line winger. You know, he's scrapping out his minutes, fighting to get his time out on the ice, and he's earned the playing time that he's gotten through all the hard work he's put into this program. No question about that. And then last, but certainly not least, Big James Redding, number 27. You know, he's another guy who had to step up in a big way this year. I talked about how Marcus Pace had big shoes to fill as a first-line winger. James Redding really had big shoes to fill after Brookline graduated both of their first-line defensemen in Jacob Gurdon and Rohan Gervais. And I really think Redding has stepped up in a big way on what is a very young defensive squad that's got a number of underclassmen and young goalies behind them. They really needed guys to step up on defense. Redding is the oldest defenseman on the Brookline roster alongside Jason O'Brien. And Redding has been getting a lot of first-line defensive minutes, and if he's not on the first line, he's on the second. So he's playing a lot along that defensive side, and he is a guy who really knows how to use his size, use his height and his length and his strength to really, provide a big defensive wall, which I think has been a huge thing, not just in terms of keeping goals off the board, but also, creating, just a slightly more comfortable environment for these young goalies that they have to develop. We're going to see a lot more of Craig Haas and Jack O'Connor between the pipes for Brookline in the seasons to come. And don't remember that don't forget that the development of those youngsters started with this season, and it started with having guys like Big James Redding in front of them, helping to protect the net for them and helping them to develop and grow their confidence in their game. So that is the senior class of 2023 for the Brookline Warriors boys hockey team. Once again, Marcus Pace, Steve McDougall, Jason O'Brien, Emmett Tian, Matthew Murphy, and James Redding. Just recalibrating my shot for when the action gets started, as they are setting up for a full team photo, wrapping up the pregame ceremonies. We got our first comment in the live chat from one of our regular viewers, Marlene Lyons. Let's go Warriors, go Dylan Katz, tuning in from Michigan. And remember, if there's anything you'd like to say for the live chat, whether it's, go Brookline or even if it's go Newton North, I appreciate the good vibes regardless of which team you're rooting for. If you want to shout out your favorite player, as Marlene Lyons has just done, maybe you're watching a relative or a friend, you can shout them out. And like Marlene has done, you can let us know where you're tuning in from, because that's always fun to hear. Always fun to hear about, where folks are able to tune in from, because with these online live streams, folks can tune in from all over the world as long as they've got a Wi-Fi connection. Also, if you notice any technical difficulties with the stream, please point them out to me if you can. And also, particularly for any Newton North fans tuning into this live stream, if you notice me flubbing the pronunciation of anyone's names, please let me know in the live chat. And then, of course, as always, if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. The winter season may be winding down, but there are still games on the docket, so be sure to stay tuned for those. Subscribing to the channel can help. So I'm not sure if the team is about to start their warm-up skates or what's happening at this stage. When you've got a senior day, sometimes everybody gets caught up in all the emotions of it, and there's really no hardline scheduling. Like those of you who have really followed my my channel, I've been taking a lot of double bookings throughout this week. And let me tell you, I don't think I would ever take a double booking with a senior day game, just because they're always going to run long. It's one of those things. It is a celebration of the end, in a sense. You know, it's the end of a bunch of high school careers, and you know, it's like you don't want to say goodbye, even though the season's not over. You've still got games to play. You know, you want this to go on as long as it can. You want to, you know, properly celebrate as much as you can these players that have been in the program for so long. So while we wait for them to wrap things up. Oh, okay. I think, you know what it is? It looks like we had a late arrival of some family members. I was wondering why they skipped Matthew Murphy and went to James Redding. Looks like Murphy's family members weren't here yet, and so they needed to get one last set of photos. Had to go and chase down the Murphy family. You know, logistical hiccups, they happen. But it looks like we've wrapped that up. And it looks like they're going to take a couple of last photos here with the full group of seniors. Once again, that full group: Marcus Pace, Steve McDougall, Jason O'Brien, Emmett Tian, Matthew Murphy, and James Redding. All right, I think that was the last of the pregame ceremony. As they are now taking the balloons off the ice, I think that's about it. So the pregame warm-up skates are about to begin. And with that in mind, let's take a look at the projected lines for the Brookline Warriors as they begin their warm-up skates. Starting with the forward lines, as you can see here on your screen, the projected first line forwards, all seniors and all captains. Steve McDougall, the captain, centering that first line. Fellow captain Emmett Tian on his right, and alternate captain Marcus Pace on the left. Second line, Grady Ames at center, flanked by his older brother Henry Ames on his right, and Max Guo on his left. Third line, we have Connor Erdman in the center, with Jace Gadarin on the right, and senior Matthew Murphy on the left. He might get some extra playing time today for senior day. We will see. And then the fourth line, we have Greg Aptekman at center, Tommy May on the left, Owen Lacey on the right. So those are the forward lines for Brookline. Let's take a quick look at the defensive pairings as well. First line defenseman, we have senior James Redding alongside junior captain Noah Gurdon. Second line, Thomas O'Brien and Dylan Katz. Third line, Seth Walpowitz and Ryan Wilson. And fourth line defensemen, Jason O'Brien and Jack Herman. And we might see some more of Jason O'Brien, even though he's listed as a fourth liner. We might see some more playing time out of him for senior day. So those are the line combinations for Brookline, and now the Newton North High Tigers out onto the ice. So let's read through the roster for the visitors here today. Going in order of jersey number for the Newton North High Tigers. First off, we have a junior, number 1, Gavin Doucette. A junior, number 2, Hayden Willen. A senior, number 4, Christian Kirker. A sophomore, number 5, Tommy Cedrone. A sophomore, number 6, Max Lee. A freshman, number 7, Brody King. A junior, number 8, Luke Tenaglia. A junior, number 9, Aiden Umina. A senior, number 11, Colin Walsh. A sophomore, number 12, Will Pryor. A freshman, number 13, Ben Horseman. A freshman, number 14, Ben Pachis. A junior, number 15, Steven Solari. A freshman, number 17, Cam Norton. A freshman, number 21, Raymond Arthur. A senior, number 24, Michael Rogan. A senior, number 29, Liam McGarry Partridge. And a sophomore, number 30, Barnaby Dano. Head coach of the Newton North High boys hockey team is Dan Doucette, with assistant coaches Nate Richards, Chris O'Neill, and Damian Doucette. That is the roster for Newton North. Now let's move over to the left and let's take a look at the roster for the hosting Brookline High Warriors. Once again, going in order of jersey number, first off we have a freshman, number 2, Jack Herman. A senior alternate captain, number 3, Marcus Pace. A junior captain, number 4, Noah Gurdon. A senior captain, number 5, Steve McDougall. A freshman, number 6, Greg Aptekman. A sophomore, number 7, Connor Erdman. A junior, number 8, Tommy May. A sophomore, number 9, Max Guo. A sophomore, number 10, Jace Gongadarin. A junior, number 11, Seth Walpowitz. A junior alternate captain, number 12, Henry Ames. A sophomore, number 13, Grady Ames. A senior, number 16, Jason O'Brien. A senior captain, number 17, Emmett Tien. A sophomore, number 18, Thomas O'Brien. A sophomore, number 19, Ryan Wilson. A freshman, number 21, Owen Lacey. A senior, number 22, Matthew Murphy. A sophomore, number 23, Dylan Katz. A senior, number 27, James Redding. A sophomore, number 30, Jack O'Connor. And finally, a freshman, number 31, Craig Haas. Head coach of the Brookline High boys hockey team is Anthony Sarno, with assistant coaches Steven Sarno, Mike O'Neill, and Anthony Sarno Jr. That is the roster for the two teams. It is senior day here at Walter Brown, Brookline versus Newton North. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and you are watching Brookline High Hockey. Don't blink! Insert, knocked back out, McDougall recovers, McDougall scores! Puck squirts out, Tien sends a shot in, saved, and it's put back by Gurdon! James Redding launches one, in! James Redding! Now it's a chase for the puck, Caleb Weldon gets there, fires, juicy rebound, score! Emmett Tien with the hat trick! All right, pre-game clock is now at all zeros, and we're about ready to get this one underway. We'll have starting lineup announcements and the national anthem, and then we'll have our opening puck drop for the first period. Brookline and Newton North have faced off twice already this season. They faced off at Newton North's rink, and Brookline came away with a 3-0 win, and the two faced off in the semifinals of the Junior Beanpot Tournament in Foxborough, with Brookline winning again 6-3. Brookline comes into this game with an overall record of 5-11, ranked 44th in Division I, according to the MIAA Power Rankings that came out updated yesterday. Newton North enters with a record of 1-12, ranked 46th in Division I.
Our starting lineup for Newton North. Right wing, number 14, Ben Hodges.
All right, first player for Newton North, number 14, Ben Pachis. Next up, I believe, is number 9, Aiden Umina. Number 2, Hayden Willen. Next, number 15, Steven Solari. And number 4, Christian Kirker. And between the pipes, number 1, Gavin Doucette. Now the starters for the Warriors. First off, number 3, a senior Marcus Pace. Another senior, number 5, Steve McDougall. Another senior, number 17, Emmett Tien. Another senior, number 16, Jason O'Brien. And then a 5th senior, number 27, James Rennig. And then starting in net, number 31, Craig Haas. Now here comes the national anthem. All right, that was our national anthem. We actually got a live singer this time. That was pretty cool. Great voice from whoever that was. So Brookline starting 5 of the 6 seniors they are honoring today. That first forward line of McDougall, Tien, and Pace. And then a defensive pairing of James Redding and Jason O'Brien. O'Brien being elevated. We talked during the pregame about how seniors like O'Brien and Murphy, who play on some of the lower lines, might get more playing time today as part of senior day. And indeed, Jason O'Brien getting a starting spot to start this one off. Of course, on the opposite end of the spectrum, a freshman starting in net for Brookline, Craig Haas. He'll be matched up against Newton North goalie Gavin Doucette. For Newton North, looks like they're sending number 9, Aiden Umina, to the faceoff circle. He's going to be flanked by number 2, Hayden Willen, and number 14, Ben Pachis. Defensive pairing of number 4, Christian Kirker, and number 15, Steven Solari. Brookline versus Newton North, the third matchup between these local rivals this season. 15 minutes on the clock. You can see in the bottom left corner of your screen, and here we go. The opening faceoff goes to the near side boards, and James Redding pushes it all the way down to the Newton North end. Lifted around by Kirker, blocked by Jason O'Brien, sent forward but recovered by Steven Solari. Solari sends it around the boards, aimed at Hayden Willen. And Willen manages to clear it out to the neutral zone. O'Brien was waiting for it. O'Brien kind of whiffs on that one, and it's stolen away. Pages approaches, can't get a shot off, and an attempted clear by Pace, but it's walled off, and now a friendly ricochet for Brookline. McDougall passes up to Tien. Tien waving around. It goes off a skate. Tien shoots, saved by Doucette. Now Umina skating with it, sends it around the boards for Willen. Willen recovers it, skating in front of his own net, dangerously passes it, but gets it back to Solari. Off the boards to Umina. Umina lifts it high. Recovered by number 11, Seth Walpowitz. Passes across to Noah Gurdon. Gurdon skating with it through the neutral zone. Tries to touch it ahead. It's blocked, but now Grady Ames pushes it forward. Walled off by Solari. Solari tries a backhand. Almost pushed forward to the net by by one of the Ames brothers. Now this long shot from Gurdon saved by Doucette. Little bit of extra pushing and shoving after the play concludes. As we get ready for a face-off in the Newton North end. Face-off is recovered by Newton North and sent out to the neutral zone. Gurdon pushes it back in, but Brookline can't touch it. It's taken by number 7, Brody King. Passed across, long pass up, deflects weirdly off a stick, and it's downed by Noah Gurdon. Gurdon fends off the forward pressure from number 12, Will Pryor. Now Brookline moving the puck up. Grady Ames skating with it. Shot saved by Doucette. Ames chases down the rebound, keeps it in the corner, and Henry Ames skating out with it. Backhander dangerously in the crease, but could not be jammed in. It's covered up by Doucette. Another shout out to Dylan Katz from Khalid Purifoy. Sorry if I butchered the name there. My apologies. Another Newton North End face-off, sent to the far side boards and moved up, but knocked back and forth as Brookline lifts it high in the air, but it goes over the boards, and this will result in a face-off. Face off, getting tangled up. Puck squirts out for a minute. Solari gets pinned up against the boards by Gongadarin. Now Max Guo pokes it out, gets tripped. That's going to be a penalty against Newton North. And Brookline is going to go on the first power play of the day. Steven Solari heading to the box. 2-minute minor for tripping. We'll see if Brookline can take advantage of this early opportunity here. Face-off controlled by Brookline, goes back to Gurdon. Gurdon pass over to Grady Ames. Ames shot deflected high. Tien recovers. Skating sends it to the point to Gurdon. Gurdon pass over to Ames. Grady Ames, long shot, misses wide. Recovered again by Tien. Tien sends it around the back to Henry Ames. Ames looking, passes back to Tien. Tien skates across, tries an insert. It's deflected wide. Chased down in the corner by McDougall. Pass back to Tien. Tien from the point. It's knocked down and cleared out. Now skating with it is Umina. Umina on the shorthand gets pushed into the boards by Tien. And it's recovered by Gurdon. Gurdon now taking off with it. Long pass up, finds McDougall. McDougall gains the blue line, turns around, gives back to Grady Ames, who sends it back up to McDougall. McDougall keeps with the puck and passes it back to Grady Ames. Now back to Gurdon. Gurdon skates to the point, launches a shot. It's blocked by Umina. Now Gurdon passes it up to Tien. Tien around to the point, passes it over to Grady Ames. Now back to the point to Tien. Quick shot, knocked down by Henry Ames, but couldn't get a pass, and it's cleared out by Paches. Stopped by Haas and taken now by Tien. Tien just taking off with it. Tien gains the blue line himself, still skating, approaching, turns around, couldn't get it past Doucette. 25 seconds still left on the penalty. Newton North doing a strong job on the penalty kill so far. As we get ready for a face-off with the second power play unit. Face-off, sent back to Dylan Katz, sent across. Thomas O'Brien launches a shot. It's turned aside by Doucette. Recovered around the back by James Redding. Redding turns around, shot saved by Doucette. Recovered by Redding, another shot, a stick goes flying, but the puck does not go into the net, and it's cleared out by Hayden Willen. Now skating out of the box, we are at even strength. Katz backhands it forward, it's taken by Christian Kirker. Kirker sends it up the line. No icing. Chased down by Katz, and he fends off the forward pressure from Pryor. Off the boards, it's collected by Guo. Guo touches it ahead, Marcus Pace. Pace coming across, shot, saved by Doucette, rebound, save again by Doucette! The rebounds don't get much juicier than that. Max Guo had a prime chance at the net there, but good recovery by Gavin Doucette to stop the putback, as we are now back on even strength. Face off, controlled by Newton North, but it's deflecting every which way. Goes to the far side boards, now sent up by Luke Tenaglia. Racing down for it is Gurdon. Gurdon turns around, passes up to Matthew Murphy, and now it's sent up to Connor Erdman, now to Jace Gongadarin. Gongadarin gains the blue line. It gets knocked away from him. Chased down in the corner, it's pressed up against the boards. They're scrumming for it in the corner there. And now it's knocked out and pinned back to the boards, but it's recovered by Gongadarin. And now by Erdman. Erdman sends it off the boards to Gongadarin. A chance, the net gets knocked off its post, but nobody has stopped play yet. Someone's got to notice that the net has been knocked off of its post, but they're just letting play continue. Pass through to the middle is taken by the Tigers, pushed forward by Pryor, chased down by Steve McDougall. McDougall sends it across to Gurdon. Long pass up to Pace. Backhand pass to McDougall. Lifts it up for Tien. Tien approaching. Comes in. Backhander saved by Doucette and covered up. And now Doucette fixing the net at least. Face off goes to the far boards. Tien fighting for it. Gains control. Pass goes back to Seth Walpowitz, who sends it around the back to McDougall. McDougall manages to attempt a pass at Pace, but it gets away from him. Around the boards, kept on the attack by Redding as it goes all the way around the other way. Walpowitz sends it towards the middle, but it's deflected. Now Willen tries to clear. Redding can't keep it in the attack end, takes it in the neutral zone instead. Redding lifts it into the Newton North end, being chased down by McDougall. McDougall comes around the back, backhand pass for Pace. Pace sends a backhander around the back. Taken by Tien, sent around, out of reach of Pace. But he pins his man to the boards. It's taken by McDougall. McDougall tries an insert, but it's walled off by King. Passed up to Willen. Willen skating with it, shot blocked by Redding. And just sits out there as Tien sends it. It's deflected to the far boards. Solari now lifts it into the Brookline end. Redding takes it. Stolen away. This is Umina skating around the back. Gets pinned to the boards, and it's cleared up to Pace. Pace skating with it through the neutral zone. Now sends a pass across to Tien. Tien across the blue line, coming around, tries a pass. It's deflected and blocked by Kirker. Recovered now by Grady Ames. Ames sends it back to Dylan Katz. Katz sends it around the corner. Henry Ames takes this one. but it bounced in the air and it's cleared out by Umina. Kept on the attack end by Katz. Long shot saved by Doucette. It just hanging around the slot, but eventually cleared out by Newton North. Ames takes it again, sends it off the boards, out of reach of Grady Ames. Cleared out by Willen. No icing. They must have claimed a deflection. Sent off the boards, gets to Guo. Guo's pass walled off, recovered and sent up. Chased down by Henry Ames. Ames's hit deflects, and they couldn't time the crossing of the blue line, and that'll be offsides. 6:53 on the clock here in the first. Still no score as of yet. Brookline has been dominating the possession game, but has not been able to get one past Gavin Doucette yet. Now a battle around the blue line. It is pushed into the attack end by Connor Erdman as it goes around the back. Sent off the boards. Noah Gurdon keeps it on the attack for a second, but now swatted away by number 21, Raymond Arthur. Jason O'Brien fending him off and forcing him into the boards. And whoa, a man gets the feet taken out from under him. Long shot is saved by Haas. Couple of hard hits both ways on that sequence. As we now get ready for a Brookline end face-off. Sent into the corner, taken by James Redding. Redding sends it around. It misses Tommy May, but it's recovered by Greg Aptekman. Aptekman lifts it forward, being chased down by Owen Lacey. Lacey sends it around, and it's kept on the attack by James Redding. Sent around Lacey, kicks it to himself. Lacey trying to sneak around the back, sends one through the slot, but nobody there. Taken back by the Tigers. Skating with it now, but it's a weird ricochet off the clear attempt. It winds up right at the stick of Redding. Redding skating it. A long shot deflected high and into the netting. So we saw a shift from the fourth forward line there. Solid shift, kept it on the attack for the most part. Now the first line back out, face-off sent to the near side boards, and Newton North's going to clear it out to the neutral zone. Off the ricochet, Dylan Katz pushes it back in, pushed back out by Umina. Now Willen lifts it all the way down to Haas, who leaves it for Thomas O'Brien, sent around the boards, and it's taken again by Katz. Katz's pass walled off by Hayden Willen, recovered by Thomas O'Brien. Around the boards it goes. Tien's pass is blocked by Umina. Umina tries a centering, but it's whiffed on the one-timer by Willen. Now taken back in the neutral zone by Pachis. Pass goes back to Solari. Long pass back up to Pachis, but it's taken by Umina. Across the blue line. Umina takes it into the corner. Skating around the back, lost the puck. Taken for a second by Pace, but knocked back. Gets a pass to Umina. Umina gets tangled up with McDougall in the corner. O'Brien tries to clear. Solari sends a long hit, and that's going to deflect up into the netting. Time on the clock, 4 minutes and 42 seconds here in the first period. Still no score. Face-off controlled by Newton North. Long shot saved by Haas. Haas couldn't catch it, but it deflects into the corner. Redding recovers it. Sends it up ice. It's recovered by King. Shot sails wide. Off the boards. Brookline tries to clear, but it gets tangled up in the skates of Henry Ames. Ames takes it, turns around, clears out to the neutral zone. Kicked down by King. King lifts it back to the Brookline end. It's caught by Redding. Redding pass up to Henry Ames. Off the boards for Guo. Guo is stopped by King. King pushes it forward. Redding pushes it back. Now Guo gains the blue line. Guo skating with it against King. heading for the corner. King getting tangled up with him. Still screwing for the puck in the corner. In comes Connor Erdman. It's kicked out and taken by Arthur. Arthur gets stood up but knocks over Redding. But the puck is taken by Gurdon. Gurdon pass out. Finds Gongadarin. Gongadarin kind of whiffed on the pass there, but just keeps with it himself. Now lifts it down into the Newton North end. Erdman takes it around the back. Pass for Gongadarin. Tried to sneak one in, but deflected and leveled by number 29, Liam McGarry-Partridge. Out to the neutral zone where it's taken by Jason O'Brien. Pass across to his younger brother, Thomas O'Brien. O'Brien pass up. Deflects through the neutral zone. Taken by Erdman. Erdman gains the blue line. Deflects away from him. Recovered. Long shot from Murphy comes in wide. Gongadarin sends one around. It's going to be chased down by Jason O'Brien, but couldn't keep with the puck. It's taken back by the Tigers. Odd man rush. Skating with it. Shot saved by Haas. Even Solari, as they had a 2-on-1, almost a 3-on-1 rush there. Face off. Forced out to the neutral zone by Pace. Now Tien on the breakaway. Scores! The seniors get it done on senior day for the first goal of the game. Emmett Tien off the assist from Marcus Pace and Steve McDougall. McDougall with the face-off. Pace, despite getting tangled up along the near side boards, just barely managed to poke that one into the neutral zone, and Emmett Tien scooped it up and did what he does best. Shot straight for the net and then shot it into the net. 1-0 Brookline. First line still out there. Pace gives to Tien. Tien whiffs on the pass, but recovers the puck. Still skating with it. Backhands it along to McDougall. McDougall pinned in the corner. Deflects to Tien. Tien sends a pass through. Recovered by Pace. Turnaround shot. Saved by Doucette. Tien takes it back. Pass to the back to McDougall. McDougall skating around. Shot saved by Doucette. And a hard check from Gurdon as McDougall recovers, keeps it on the attack, but the pass gets away from Pace. The clear is whiffed. Pace muscles it through. Pace backhand shot saved by Doucette. Recovered now by McDougall. Pass back to Gurdon. Gurdon keeps with the puck. Now Gurdon approaching. Long shot saved by Doucette. Recovered by McDougall. Pass to Tien. Tien scores again! Emmett Tien going off here in the late period of the first period. Assisted again by Steve McDougall. Happy senior day, Mr. Tien. 2 goals in a matter of minutes. And it is a quick 2-0 lead for Brookline. Face-off controlled by the Tigers. Boy, the PA announcer literally just got finished. Fined by McDougall out of the back. Erdman now a shot blocked down by Solari. Noah Gurdon getting the secondary assist as his shot being rebounded by McDougall is what set up McDougall's primary assist. Attempted clear blocked by Grady Ames. Shot comes in wide. Redding keeps it on the attack, sent around the boards. Tangled up, and it's sent to the corner. 1 minute left in the period. Jason O'Brien sends it off the boards. Recovered by Grady Ames. Ames couldn't keep it in the attack end, though, as it's cleared out. Chased down by Redding. Redding around the back, lifts it off the boards. Into the neutral zone, taken by King. Passed across, now back to King. King, long pass up, misses everybody, and it's going to slide straight to Thomas O'Brien, now sent across to Redding. Redding lifts a long shot, actually, and it's turned aside by Doucette. Solari takes it. It's taken away by Gongadarin. Pass back, Thomas O'Brien. Shot that reflects right to Aptekman. Backhander is walled off by Doucette, but it's poked loose. It's a chance. They're trying to force it in. They couldn't. Murphy sends it back to Thomas O'Brien. Brian winds and fires. It's saved again by Doucette. Credit has to be given to Gavin Doucette. This could be a much bigger lead for Brookline than it is if he wasn't giving every last effort possible to keep that puck out of the net. 6.1 seconds left in the period. Face-off gets tangled up. Murphy trying to chase after it, but it's going to be cleared, and that will end the first period. The score after one, the Brookline Warriors 2, the Newton North Tigers 0. Both goals coming from Emmett Tian. 2 assists by fellow senior Steve McDougall, 1 assist from fellow senior Marcus Pace, and 1 assist from fellow captain Noah Gurdon. At this first intermission, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about Language Virtual. Language Virtual is a non-profit organization made by Brookline High School students in order to help other students all over the globe. Language Virtual offers free English language lessons online to students around the globe. These lessons are taught by volunteer high school students from various high schools, many of them from right in Brookline, and they are recruited by Language Virtual to teach these ELL lessons through the simplest, most tried and true method of learning a language: conversation. To date, Language Virtual has recruited over 100 teachers to teach over 700 students across more than 10 different countries. And with the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, Language Virtual has seen an influx of students of Ukrainian descent, displaced by the war, and hoping these English lessons can help them adjust to their new living situations. Visit languagevirtual.org to find out how you can register, either as a volunteer teacher or as a student in need of these lessons. You can also donate money to Language Virtual to help them continue teaching students in need and fostering these worldwide connections. Once again, that's languagevirtual.org. And as always, you can find all the information you need about our local charity, Language Virtual, down in the description section down below. And as always, if you're enjoying the live stream, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. And if you got anything to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat. Marlene Lyons with the latest live chat. That's my boys. Nice going. And indeed, a nice first period for Brookline. They lead Newton North here at the first intermission, 2-0. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan at Walter Brown Arena. I'm going to take a break off the mic, but I'll be back with the second period. Stay tuned. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Walter Brown Arena. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan coming to you live for today's Division I high school boys hockey contest between the hosting Brookline High Warriors and the visiting Newton North High Tigers. As we get ready for the second period of this game, it is a 2-0 lead for Brookline on the back of 2 goals from senior captain Mayfield-Sheehan. Assisting on the first goal were senior line mates Marcus Pace and Steve McDougall. Assisting on the second score, McDougall, his second assist, and then the secondary assist by junior captain Noah Gurdon. So the captains getting it done on offense for Brookline, especially the seniors. As so far, Brookline with a multi-goal lead, and they've been dominating possession so far. As we now get ready for period number 2. Same goalies out for both teams. Craig Haas for Brookline, Gavin Doucette for Newton North. Got to give credit to Gavin Doucette for a strong first period, even with 2 goals allowed. He still made some spectacular saves as Brookline was dominating possession throughout the period. Now we await the opening face-off of the second period. 15 minutes back on the clock. Puck drops. Face-off controlled by the Tigers. Taken by Christian Kirker. Sent up the line. And attempted pass by Ben Paches, cut off by Mayfield-Sheehan, lifted into the Newton North end. Kirker sends it around, and the official lost his footing, but it's taken back by Brookline. Sent around the boards. Sheehan trying to send it around, walled off by Kirker. And the attempted clear stopped by Noah Gurdon. Gurdon skating through, weaving around, looking, pass through the middle, just misses Marcus Pace, and it's cleared out by Hayden Willen, but into the benches, and so that will stop play. So we'll have a neutral zone face-off. Controlled by Brookline. Dylan Katz sends it across to Thomas O'Brien. Pass just out of reach of Connor Erdman. Taken instead by Kirker. Attempted clear is walled off and kept on the attack by O'Brien. But now a long clear is going to slide all the way down. Blocked by Craig Haas and left for Katz. Katz sends a pass up the middle. Just misses Grady Ames. Taken instead by number 17, Cam Norton. And now moved up, turned aside by Haas, taken by Katz. Katz fending off the forward pressure from a couple of Newton forwards. Pass misses Grady Ames, chased down by Henry Ames, sent off the boards and pushed into the attack zone by Henry Ames. Brody King sends it around. Recovered by Brookline, fast approaching, just couldn't stay with it. Max Guo lost his footing and went tumbling into the boards as this puck is deflected up into the stands. I swear, when it comes to these games against Newton North, Max Guo has got to be the king of getting good opportunities that just end up with an unlucky finish. He had a number of almost goals during the junior Beanpot. He's had a couple of really good chances already today. Redding's shot turned aside by Doucette. Guo sends it around, deflects off the skate. Now sent forward. Hayden Willen touches it for Aiden Umina. Nice poke check by James Redding. And they're going to call offsides because Redding sent that from the neutral zone, and then Gangadaran tried to down it. Face off is pushed down towards Brookline. Jason O'Brien sends it. It's deflected. O'Brien sends it again, and it's going back into the stands. So we'll have a neutral zone face-off after that one. Face off, knocked back to Jason O'Brien again. O'Brien skating through with it. O'Brien still pushing it forward. It's going to be covered up by Doucette. Nice forward push by the senior defenseman. Just sort of ran out of room and had to push it forward. Face-off goes back to Tommy May, but his shot is blocked by Aiden Umina. Or no, not by Luke Tenaglia. Sent around the boards by Brookline. Pinned up against the boards now. Scrumming for it is Owen Lacey. Lacey pushes it off the boards. It's recovered by Seth Walpowitz. Walpowitz tries to pass one up, but he gets stood up. The attempted clear is kept on the attack end by Brookline for now. And Walpowitz successfully keeps it in the Newton North end. Sent off the boards. Walpowitz tries a centering pass. It's deflected. Attempted clear is stopped in the neutral zone by Tien and pushed into the Newton end where it's taken by Solari. Solari pass deflects off a skate into open ice where it's taken by Walpowitz. Walpowitz sends it to the Newton North end. Around the back, it's taken by Solari, poked away by Pace. Tien sends it around the boards. Chasing after it in the corner is McDougall. He sends it back around for Pace. Pace keeps it on the attack, passes back around to Tien. Tien leaves a pass for Gurdon, and it's stopped by Doucette at point-blank range. Some nice passing by Brookline on that sequence. But just, again, couldn't get it past Doucette. Face off. Sent back and forth. Now recovered by McDougall. McDougall sends it around. Recovered by Tien, who backhands it back the other way. McDougall takes it, comes out of the back, looking for a pass. Deflects off Doucette. It's around the skates of McDougall, but it's poked away and taken now by Umina. Sent into the Brookline end where it's taken by Tien, dumped off for Katz. Katz sends it. It's taken back by Paches. Paches getting stood up in the corner, and the puck is taken away by Brookline. Pass up is moved into the neutral zone by Tien. Umina scrumming for it, but Tien takes it back, gains the blue line. Tien skating with it, comes around, centering. His shot is turned aside by Doucette. Puck taken back by Pace. Shot goes wide. And it's going to go out to the neutral zone where it's chased down by Thomas O'Brien. Sent across to Katz. Sent up. And now sent back. And now sent back the other way. McDougall skating with it. Launches a shot. It's blocked wide. As Brookline completes the forward line change. This is Hayden Willen skating with it. Sends it into the Brookline end. Around the corner it goes. Around the other corner. And Redding gets hit hard into the boards. No penalty called as Redding just has to shake it off. Grady Ames gains the blue line on the counterattack. Ames approaching, sends a pass, just sent over the bar by Erdman. Recovered around the back by Henry Ames. Ames coming around, pass for Erdman, poked away by Kirker. Recovered by Ames, shot goes high. Recovered by Noah Gurdon. Long insert deflected into the corner. Ames takes it along the back, tries a pass, couldn't get it off cleanly. Ames still keeping with it. Now sends a pass, gets caught up in the ref's skates. Grady Ames sends it back to James Redding. Long shot turned aside by Doucette. Puck goes into open ice where it's cleared out by Newton North, and that's going to be icing. So it'll be a Newton North end face-off with 9:38 to go here in the second period. Brookline still leads by 2. Face off is controlled by Gongadarin, but it's poked away from him, recovered by Katz. Pass goes around. Guo fighting for it. Chasing after it is King. He gets checked into the boards by Gongadarin. Sent back around. And taken in the neutral zone by Thomas O'Brien. Off the boards, taken for a second by Partridge. Now knocked away from Arthur. Skating on the counter is Guo. Guo trying to get around King. Pass deflected off the stick of King. Recovered by O'Brien, sent around. King chasing after it. Now Arthur gets it to King. King pass across, misses, but it's going to be chased down by Michael Rogan. And Rogan ices it. Oh, I think we've got a penalty actually. And this one is going to go against Matthew Murphy. So Newton North will now go on their first power play of the day, as Murphy will serve the 2-minute minor. Face off. Attempted clear taken back by Newton North. Shot by Solari is blocked into the corner. Umina gets taken down by Redding, and Redding clears it out. Race for the puck is going to be won by Tien. Tien skating around the back now. Tien still skating with it, just weaving around. Finally lost the puck. It's knocked away by Tenaglia. Now a pass from Willen back up to Tenaglia. Sends it into the Brookline end, where it's taken again by Redding. Redding lifts it all the way down to the other end. Off the boards, it's stopped by Doucette. Tien sneaks in, tries a shot, and Doucette with the quick reflexes to wall it off. Brookline coming off a 5-3 win against Framingham, where they scored twice on the shorthand. So you've got to be careful if you're the Newton North defenders. Face off, knocked into open ice, taken by Umina. Aiden Umina skating with it. Gets it into the Brookline end. Gurdon gets there, fends off the check, and lifts it all the way out. Off the back, it's going to settle on the back of the net. Henry Ames applying the forward pressure, but it is taken by Brody King. King passes up to Umina. Umina gains the blue line. Long shot saved by Haas. Big rebound chance. Couldn't be collected cleanly by Willen. Now Redding skating with it. Sends it. Ricochets off the stick of Grady Ames. Coming back around. Ames trying to keep up the pressure, but it is recovered by Umina. But Umina trying to fight his way through Ames. Willen takes it, stolen away by Erdman for a second, but then knocked away by King, taken by Umina. Umina gains the blue line, stood up by several defenders, recovered by Willen, shot blocked by McDougall, recovered shot, and that one is put in. No goal. No, it's not a goal. It wasn't in. Play continues. Did it go off the crossbar? Not sure what happened. Long shot saved by Haas. And now Newton North must have a million questions regarding that no goal call. Newton North wants a goal call, and it's an understandable grievance. I thought it had gone in. I wasn't sure if there was like some skate in the crease call or something. But the official giving an explanation to the Newton North bench. I do not know what happened But either way, it's still no goal. Cats trying to send it around, and we are back at even strength. And now McDougall skating with it. Pass up for Pace. Pace takes it, gains the blue line. Pace weaving through. Backhand pass for Tien. Tien couldn't put it in, but recovers the rebound. Tries to center it. Turned aside by Doucette. Taken around the back by McDougall. McDougall still skating with it. Now sends it around the boards. Got away from Tien, but he chases it down. Tien backhands it to McDougall. McDougall turning around. Gets pinned to the boards. Still trying to get it. Pass back to O'Brien. Pass misses. Tien stolen away by Rogan. Rogan poked away by O'Brien. Recovered by Tien. Tien gains the blue line. Weaves around a defender. Couldn't keep with it. Tries a pass but can't complete it. Too many black jerseys in there. Kirker sends it around the boards. It's taken by McDougall. McDougall sends it back around the other way. Tien tried to take the puck, but it's knocked away. Gurdon manages to get it past to Pace. Pace gets the feet taken out from under him, and it's taken away by Newton North. Skating with it is Arthur. Nice poke check by Gurdon to stop that approach in its tracks. Sent down to the Brookline end where it's taken by Jason O'Brien. Long pass misses Henry Ames, but they lost track of the puck. Grady Ames tries a pass, deflects, taken by Jason O'Brien. Pushed ahead, Steven Solari takes it, taken back, tapped for Erdman. Erdman's shot deflected high and wide. Kept in the attack end by Grady Ames. King now with it, sends it off the boards for Solari. Solari clears it out to the neutral zone. Chased down by Jason O'Brien. O'Brien pass up to Erdman, who sends it way up ice. Couldn't be corralled by Henry Ames, and so King passes it up out of reach of Willen. O'Brien knocks it back. Umina sends it to Willen. Pass to the middle, nobody there. Gurdon sends it to Erdman. Now up ice, gets away from Grady Ames, and now knocked back, taken again by Gurdon. Gurdon skating with it, gains the blue line as Brookline makes a change. Gurdon coming around, pass, goes off a skate. Around the boards. Scrum for it, knocked loose, taken by Erdman. Erdman sends it off the glass, taken around the back for a second by Guo, but gets tangled up with King. King pass across. Now a pass misses Pachis, and now O'Brien tries to send it forward. Now it's taken by Willen. Willen sends it to the Brookline end, stopped by Haas and left for Katz. Katz pass up for Murphy. Murphy couldn't keep with it, and it's knocked away by Kirker. Now being scrummed for along the boards. Murphy sends it into the attack end. Kirker takes it again. Now taken for a second by Pryor, but taken back by Brookline, sent off the boards, poked into the attack end, and that's going to be an offsides call. So I think I overheard that the reason for the no goal call was an interference call, goalie interference. It's weird that they would let the play continue. I've never seen something like that before, because usually when the puck goes in the net for a goal, but it's counted as no goal, it's just a stoppage, usually because the puck's sitting in the net, but that one bounced right back out. So I think that's what happened. I don't know for sure. Cannot confirm, but I think that's what I heard. Tien pass for Pace. Pace approaches, shot saved by Doucette. I've been saying saved by Doucette a lot. The junior netminder keeping the Tigers in this one through sheer force of will. Still 2-0 the score. 3:09 left here in the second period. Face-off controlled by the Tigers, sent around the back. Solari tries to push it up, but Tien keeps it on the attack end. Now recovered in the corner by Umina. Umina lost his footing, lost the puck. It ricochets back and forth, taken by Willen. Willen pass back to Solari. Solari pass across to King, now up to Pachis. Pachis sends it into the corner. Ricochets. Pachis keeps with it, gets a pass to Umina. Umina sends it around the boards. but it's recovered by Thomas O'Brien. Now wrestled away by the Tigers. It's recovered by Umina. Umina dumps it off for King. Long shot is blocked and recovered by Katz. Katz tries to lift it out. They get tangled up, lost track of the puck. Umina now passes to Willen. It's knocked away, ultimately recovered by Tien. Tien passes up for McDougall. McDougall approaching, recovers the puck. Looking for a lane, passes back. Redding keeps it in the attack end, launches it to the backboards where it's taken by Tien. Tien sends it through, couldn't be knocked out of the air by Pace, and instead it's recovered by the Tigers. Pace sends it through to the neutral zone, taken by McDougall, passed back to Redding. Pass goes up, now sent forward. No one was waiting for it, and instead it's taken back by the Tigers. Odd man rush, 3-on-1, pass out of reach of Willen, and he's going to send it around the back. Pass goes up to King, but he couldn't collect it cleanly, and about 4 Brookline skaters came through before Redding ultimately collected it. Redding gains the blue line, shot is blocked, and instead stolen by Erdman. Shot saved somehow at point blank by Doucette. Now Gurdon sends it around the back. Gurdon recovers it himself, sneaks around the back, loses his footing, recovers, shot, misses high, might have been deflected by Doucette. Attempted clear, stopped by Erdman. Erdman pushes it to the back, taken by Henry Ames. Ames, 1 minute left, shot goes wide. Redding sends it around. Chased down in the corner by Erdman. Erdman sends it around the back for Grady Ames. Ames passes for Henry Ames. Backhander is blocked. Recovered by Gurdon. Gurdon pushes it down to Erdman. Erdman couldn't push it through. Taken away by Umina. Lifted around the boards. Recovered by Redding. Redding sends it around. And now sent, taken by Ames. Ames, a shot, almost redirected, but it missed wide. Grady Ames chases it down, leaves it for Henry Ames. Ames sends it through the middle, just couldn't connect with Erdman. The attempted clear is stopped, now pushed back to Gurdon. Gurdon's shot goes wide, recovered now by Tien. Tien shot saved Doucette. King clears it out, and that's going to go way down, and that's going to be icing. Just 1.5 seconds as that icing hit cleared a lot of the final seconds of the period. If it had been just a bit slower, it might have ended the period. But instead, 1.5 seconds on the clock as we have a face-off coming in the Newton North end. Face-off is knocked back and forth, and they can't get a shot off in time. And that is how the second period will end. No score in the second period. And the score remains as we head into the second intermission. Brookline 2, Newton North 0. Both goals so far coming from Emmett Tien. 2 assists from Steve McDougall, 1 from Marcus Pace, and 1 from Noah Gurdon. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan from Walter Brown Arena. I'm going to mute the mic for a bit, but I'll be back with the third period. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Walter Brown Arena here on the campus of Boston University in Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm here to bring you live coverage of the third and final period of this Division I high school varsity boys hockey contest between the visiting Newton North High Tigers and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. The hosting Warriors enjoying a 2-goal lead through 2 periods of their senior day game, honoring the class of 2023. Both goals coming from a senior captain Emmett Tien. His fellow senior captain and longtime line mate Steve McDougall assisting on both goals, while senior alternate captain and line mate Marcus Pace has 1 assist, and junior captain Noah Gurdon has 1 assist. Latest note from the live chat from Ali Sternberg. Go Dylan Katz, we're cheering for you in Chicago. And if anyone else wants to shout out their favorite player, keep the good vibes going in the live chat. Brookline fan, Newton North fan, doesn't matter. So no goals in that second period, and 2 goals at the tail end of the first period. Again, you've got to give a lot of credit to the Newton North defense, led by junior goalie Gavin Doucette, for keeping this game from getting out of hand for the Tigers. Because Brookline has had a lot of great chances at the net, but only 2 have found a score so far. And then, of course, a bit of controversy in that second period, as it looked like Newton North's Luke Tenaglia was going to have the Tigers' first goal of the game, but it was called no goal. From what I've heard from talking with some fans during the intermission, it seems like the current theory is that the refs just didn't see the goal go in, because the puck bounced off the back of the net and then bounced right back out. That's the current working theory. You know, I don't know if it's that or some kind of interference call or a skate in the crease call or what it was. But for whatever reason, the goal was called back. And if this ends up being a 1-goal game, that could be a point of frustration for the Tigers. But for now, the score is 2-0. 15 minutes have been placed back on the clock for this third and final period. Gavin Doucette, who's had a strong day in net so far, returns to his spot between the pipes for the Tigers. Freshman Craig Haas, who has a shutout through the first 2 periods, returns to the net for Brookline. Haas had a strong relief effort in net against Framingham on Wednesday. Came on for the third period in relief of Jack O'Connor and allowed no goals in the final period as Brookline sealed a 5-3 win in that game. Here we go, third and final period of this one, and the puck is dropped. And coming out with it are the Tigers as Aiden Umina pushes it into the Brookline end. Noah Gurdon takes it out behind his own net. Lifts a long pass, gets away from Steve McDougall, and that's going to be an icing call against Brookline. Face-off controlled by the Tigers again. Long shot well wide. And off the boards, it's going to be chased down, not chased down by Emmett Tien. Attempted clear by Christian Kirker is knocked back into the Newton North End where it's taken by Umina. Umina skating with it, weaves around a couple of Brookline players, now lifts it into the Brookline end. Around the back, it is taken by James Redding. Redding skating with it, passes across to Noah Gurdon. Gurdon gets around Umina, lifts one. It's controlled by Marcus Pace, chasing after it across the blue line, tries a pass, walled off by Kirker. Lost it around the back, and Kirker takes it. Tien launches it back around the back, taken by McDougall. McDougall pinned to the boards by Steven Solari, but Pace takes the puck, passes for McDougall. McDougall backhander through to Pace, shot turned aside by Doucette. Recovered by McDougall, sent around the back once again, taken by Umina. Sent up the boards, walled off by Thomas O'Brien. O'Brien sends a pass through, blocked by Kirker. Attempted clear, walled off by Gurdon. Long shot, turned aside by Doucette. Recovered by McDougall. McDougall sends it around for Tien. Tien finds an opening, skates through, shoots, and no goal off the pole. That was another one that looked really, really close. Not as close as the second period one, but still close. Gurdon passes off the boards to Grady Ames. Ames approaches. Poke check at the last second by Brody King. King sends it up to Raymond Arthur, who sends it further up for Michael Rogan. Rogan passes to the middle, nobody there. Chased down in the corner by Connor Erdman, sent around for Thomas O'Brien. O'Brien sends it up for Henry Ames. Sent up, it gets away from Grady Ames, taken by King. Long shot turned aside by Haas. And a hard collision around the corner. Sends a guy flying, but ultimately Brookline takes the puck. Ryan Wilson, long pass, cut off by number 17, Cam Norton. Now Rogan backhands it into the Brookline end. It's stopped by Haas, taken by O'Brien. O'Brien sends it around the back to Wilson. Wilson sends it, misses Erdman, taken back by Norton. Shot blocked by Max Guo, recovered by Erdman. Erdman gains the blue line, fakes, but it's poked away by King. A few nice defensive plays early for King. King skating the other way, weaving his way through. Tried to force a shot, but just too many white jerseys fending him off. The clear walled off by Norton. Deflects back, but now stolen away by Guo. Max Guo lifts it into the Newton North End. Coming around the back, it's chased down by Jace Gongadarin. Gongadarin comes around, shot goes wide. Recovered by Redding, long shot, deflected in! No deflection, it looks like they're giving it to James Redding! Another senior goal on Senior Day! Well, even if he doesn't get the redirect goal, you've got to give a lot of credit to Max Guo for a great screening job in front of the net there. And James Redding with a laser to score that one. That's just the second goal I've been able to call for James Redding in his hockey career, and I'm happy to see him get one on Senior Day. Now a pass goes up. It's blocked, recovered by McDougall. McDougall gains the blue line, prevents the offsides, weaves around a defender. Shot misses high. Off the boards, it is taken by Hayden Willen. Pass blocked by Emmett Tien. Tien sending it off the boards, broken up by Umina. Umina poked away by McDougall, recovered by, I think, Solari. Pass off the boards, Redding launches it back, blocked by Doucette. Recovered by Kirker, sent around the boards. Solari tries to move it up, but it's kept on the attack end, taken by Kirker. Kirker lifts one, and that's going to be icing. All three goals for Brookline scored by seniors here on Senior Day. 2 from Emmett Tien in the first period, and 1 from James Redding here in the third. Face-off is pushed into the corner where it's taken by Grady Ames. Ames coming around the back, passes back, finds Dylan Katz. Katz pushes it around, and it's being chased after by Henry Ames. Henry Ames pushes it around, and it's pinned to the boards. Connor Erdman pushes it out, chases it down in the opposite corner. Now it's recovered by Grady Ames, sent back to Katz. Katz looking around, blocked, recovered by Ames. Grady Ames shot, saved by Doucette. Looks like it actually got caught up, stuck in his pad there. Now we get ready for another Newton North End face-off. Face-off is controlled by Gangadarin. Sent off the back for Guo. Guo coming around the back, looking around, shot, saved by Doucette. Murphy tried to send it through, blocked. Gangadarin sends it to the back to Murphy, back to Gangadarin through the middle. Ricochets, taken off the boards by Gangadarin. And it ricochets. Murphy sends it through the middle. Nobody was looking for it. And the attempted clear is poked into open space by Jason O'Brien, who chases after it. Battling for it in the corner. Gangadarin comes out with it, tries to weave through, deflects to Jason O'Brien. Shot is missed wide. Might have been turned aside by Doucette. Now it gets pushed all the way down to the Brookline end, taken by Redding. Redding skating with it himself. Now pushes it around the corner. Kicked by Tien and taken by Kirker. Kirker lifts one the long way down. No icing, taken by Walpowitz. Pass up to Tien. Tien sends a long one across off the boards. This is Marcus Pace. Pace skating with it. Weaves around the defenders, tries a shot, walled off by Doucette. Putback is walled off. McDougall recovers, and Tien has the hat trick! The Hats go flying here at Walter Brown. Emmett Tien with his third goal of the day, assisted once again by McDougall and Pace. Looked for a brief second like a Newton North player was down hurt. That was Paches, but he's back up on his feet, looks okay. Tien picking up the hats that were thrown in by the Brookline fans. And now Brookline takes a 4-0 lead. For nothing now. The Brookline lead, led by a hat trick from senior captain Emmett Tien, and one goal from fellow senior James Redding. 3 assists for Steve McDougall, another senior, and 2 assists for senior Marcus Pace. What a day for the class of 2023. Brookline keeping out the pressure. Tommy May tries a shot, but it's blocked. Chased after by Owen Lacey. Pass gets to Greg Aptekman. Sent to the corner, sent through. Couldn't be redirected by May. And a long clear out. And it's going to go all the way down to Haas. Haas pushes it out. It's recovered by Will Pryor, but knocked away from him. Brody King knocking it through the neutral zone. Now Owen Lacey sends it into the Newton North End. Almost lost around the crease, but recovered by the Tigers. Skating with it now, I believe, is Steven Solari. Knocked away from him. And now pushed forward by number 5, Tommy Cedrone. Redding taking it around the back, turning around, backhands it forward, taken by Solari. Long shot blocked down. Now taken by Aptekman. Aptekman skating up the ice, and that's an offsides call. From Marlene Lyons, Brookline on fire, and from Olivia Hannigan, love to see it. And you definitely love to see it. You love to see it for these seniors on this day dedicated to them getting to perform the way they have. Erdman pass is intercepted by King. Brody King lifts it out, and it's going to be chased down by Redding. Redding tries to clear it, but it's taken by Umina. Umina sends it around the corner. Pushed forward. Henry Ames kicks it forward, taken by Erdman. Erdman approaches, turns, fakes out the defender. Skating around the back, try to fake again, but this time it's knocked away by Umina. Now Willen's pass deflects off a skate, but taken by Umina, but now knocked away by Jason O'Brien. Chased down, and O'Brien with late hit against Jason O'Brien. Well, at this point, we can now say every senior for Brookline has recorded either a goal, an assist, or a penalty so far today, as O'Brien will head to the box for a 2-minute minor. And a timeout is called. Summing up the scoring so far, in the first period, Emmett Tien scored the first goal of the game, assisted by Marcus Pace and Steve McDougall. Then, just about a minute after that goal, Tien scored again, assisted by McDougall and Noah Gurdon. That sent Brookline into the first intermission with a 2-0 lead. No scores in the second period. Then in the third, we had a goal by James Redding, assisted at least by Max Guo. I'm going to have to go back and look at the tape, see if I can find any secondary assists or anything. But then Emmett Tien completes the hat trick, assisted once again by McDougall and Pace. So 3 goals for Emmett Tien on senior day, 3 assists for his fellow senior captain and longtime line mate Steve McDougall, 2 assists for the third member of that first forward line, senior alternate captain Marcus Pace. 1 goal for senior James Redding. And then 1 assist apiece for Noah Gurdon and Max Guo, possibly 1 more assist I haven't accounted for. Now out of the timeout, Newton North goes on the power play. Face-off controlled, and it's immediately cleared out by Noah Gurdon. Race for the puck between Solari and Tien. Tien slides hard into the boards. And now it's controlled by King. King pass misses Tenaglia. And that's going to be an icing call against Brookline, or are they calling another penalty against the Warriors? This might be going against Tien. It looks like... No, that's an icing against Newton North. So we're going to have a face-off down in the Newton North end. Face-off goes right back to Tien. Quick shot is deflected into the air. Solari moves it forward, but Tien takes it back in the neutral zone, sends it back to the Newton North end, where it's taken by Solari. Solari pass up. Finds Umina. Umina gets checked from behind by McDougall, but keeps the puck. Umina gains the blue line. Umina approaches, shot, goes off the bar. Frustration abound for Newton North as Tien takes it around the back. Pass back to McDougall. Long shot turned aside by Doucette, recovered by King. I think Newton North was hoping for a call that it would have crossed the red line. But unfortunately, this isn't the NHL. We can't go slow motion replay on that. Play just has to continue. King pass across, long shot, glove saved by Haas. Face off, controlled by Thomas O'Brien, sent around the boards, glove down by King. Pass for Umina. Umina across, King keeps it across the blue line, and it's recovered by Umina. Long shot blocked by Marcus Pace. Umina recovers it. Coming around, gets around one, but it's knocked away by O'Brien back to the neutral zone. Chasing it down in open ice, a pass goes up to Pachis. Ben Pachis gains the blue. Waving around, tries to dump it off, but off timing, and Marcus Pace tried to skate out with it, taken back by Willen. Shot saved by Haas. Recovered now by Pachis. Pass across, one-timer by King, blocked by O'Brien. And now the end of the penalty. We're back on even strength as it's pushed forward into the Newton North end. And recovered by Umina. Umina skates around the back, sends it around the boards. Willen couldn't get it across the blue line as Pace puts it back in and heads for the bench to finish the line change. Solari, long launch up the ice, and that's going to be icing. Face off, knocked back, kept on the attack end by Redding. Chased down now by Partridge. Sends it up, and it's being scrummed for back and forth, and ultimately pushed into the neutral zone by Raymond Arthur. Redding lifts a long one up to Matthew Murphy. Murphy gains the blue line, pass through to Gongadarin, shot is saved by Doucette. Another great save by Gavin Doucette. Jace Gongadarin seemed like he had a real chance at that one. It would have been a very nice assist by senior Matt Murphy. But instead it'll be another face-off. And this face-off kind of bouncing, taken by Gongadarin. Shot turned aside by Doucette. Chased down by Kirker, but pinned to the boards. Murphy sends one across the slot, and nobody was there. Now pushed out by Arthur, recovered by Redding. Redding backhands it across to Gurdon. Gurdon lost it, gets hit, but gets the puck up to Guo. Now gaining the line is Aptekman. His shot turned aside by Doucette, recovered by Guo, but pass gets away. And the puck gets away from Rogan, winding up and pushing it back to the Newton North end is Redding. And I think they called icing on that hit, and so he will have a face-off in the Brookline end. Face off, won by Newton North. Solari tries to push it, but it's deflected. Pushed out to the neutral zone by Aptekman. May moves it along, but it's taken by Solari. Whiffs on that hit there. Now he's trying to fend off the forward pressure from Lacey. Sent around the back. Skating with it now is Umina. Turns around, starts skating up the ice. Still skating with it, Umina. Going end to end. Umina coming around the back, looking for somewhere to go. Shoots, saved by Haas. 2 minutes and 14 seconds left on the clock here in this one. Brookline leads by 4. Face-off, corralled by Seth Walpowitz. Sent off the boards. Henry Ames tries to move it along. It's kept on the Newton North end. Nice save by Haas off the shot from Willen. Connor Erdman skating with it. Lifts it forward into the corner. Chased down by Colin Walsh. Sent around the back. Pinned to the boards. Grady Ames pushes it forward, but knocked away by Umina. Now knocked back by Walpowitz. Now it gets sent to the corner where it's taken by Solari. Solari turns around, comes back the other way. Forward pressure, almost got him tangled up. Walsh moves it up to Willen. Willen skating with it. Poke check by Katz. Pace to Tien to McDougall, out of his reach. Recovered now by Norton. Sent up. Deflection means no icing. Katz gets there first, moves it up the boards, gets to Pace. Pace skating with it. Pace skating through, gains the blue line. Pace coming around. Around the back, pass to McDougall. McDougall's shot deflected high. Chased down in the corner by Tien. Tien coming around, shot. Juicy chance. Knocked in! Marcus Pace! One last senior goal for good measure, scored by Marcus Pace as he just managed to find that puck right in the mess there and poke it across the red line. Pace assisted by Tien. Maybe a secondary assist to McDougall. If that's the case, then McDougall would have 4 assists today. Marcus Pace now with a goal and 2 assists on senior day. Emmett Tien with 3 goals and 1 assist. And now they've got a full senior lineup as Murphy has replaced Pace on the left wing. Redding sends it off the boards up to Tien. Tien skating with it, gains the blue line, pass back to Matthew Murphy, pass back to Tien. Tien drags it around the back, pass through the middle, no goal. They think they called skate in the crease or an interference or something. No, they called it. The goal went off its post. You could tell Brookline was trying to set something up there. Tien was trying to come around the back, send one through the slot for Murphy. Here in the closing seconds, face-off pushed forward, almost cleared out. Jason Bryant trying to keep it on the attack, but it is sent out to the neutral zone, taken by Redding. Redding lifts it up ice, bouncing along, taken by Murphy. Pass for McDougall. McDougall skating around, pass back to Murphy. Murphy shot misses wide. McDougall keeps with it. McDougall kicks it along, pass. Murphy shot saved by Doucette. Now another long clear, going to go all the way out to the neutral zone, taken by McDougall. McDougall pass up to Jason O'Brien. O'Brien lost it, and it would have been offsides anyway, but that is the final seconds. And this one is in the books. The final score here on Senior Day. The Brookline Warriors 5. The Newton North Tigers 0. Brookline earns a well-earned celebration here on Senior Day. 5 senior goals for Brookline, led by a hat trick from Emmett Tien, and then 1 goal each from James Redding and Marcus Pace. Tien also had 1 assist to go with his 3 goals. Pace had 2 assists to go with his 1 goal. Steve McDougall had at least 3 assists, possibly 4. And Noah Gurdon and Max Guo also had at least 1 assist. What a great way to honor the senior class of 2023. Brookline got to have a fun one here today. from Marlene Lyons in the live chat. Warriors as good as the Bruins today, and they certainly looked very good today, and the final result on the scoreboard showed it. The Warriors salute their fans who came out to support them and celebrate their senior class of 2023. One last salute to those seniors. Number 3, an alternate captain with a goal and 2 assists today, Marcus Pace. A senior captain with at least 3 assists, possibly 4, number 5, Steve McDougall. Number 16, a number of nice defensive plays, Jason O'Brien. A captain with 3 goals and 1 assist today, Emmett Tien. And some extra play on the wing and a couple of nice scoring chances there at the end. Number 22, Matthew Murphy. And rounding it out with 1 goal from the back line, from the blue line. I tried to say blue and back at the same time. With 1 goal as a defenseman today, the last senior, number 27, James Redding. That is going to do it from here at Walter Brown Arena. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. Brookline still has 1 home game left, I believe, against Needham next week. And I'm going to be covering that one, so be sure to stay tuned for that and other games. Subscribing to the channel can help. Appreciate all the good vibes in the live chat. If you got anything else you'd like to say, I encourage you to say it in the comment section down below after this live stream has concluded. Also, go down below to the description section of the video to find all the information you need about our local charity Spotlight Language Virtual. If you are a high school student at Brookline, at Newton North, anywhere, and you are multilingual and you want to volunteer to teach these free online English language lessons to students in need, you can sign up online. If you or someone you know is a student in need of those English language lessons, you can sign up at that same website. Or if you just want to donate money to make sure they have the resources to keep their good work going, you can do that all on the website that you can find down in the description section. In the bottom right corner of your screen, you'll see the URL to my personal website, jessesports.com. Find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Below that, my email address, jgms88@gmail.com. You can contact me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And below that, the URL to my Instagram account, instagram.com/jgms88. Follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But this live stream has come to an end on that final visual of the seniors walking out to the tunnel. Marcus Pace, Steve McDougall, Jason O'Brien, Emmett Tien, Matthew Murphy, and James Redding honored here at Walter Brown today and put on a show for their fans. Brookline 5, Newton North 0. From Walter Brown Arena, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good rest of your weekend.